Hey everybody, this is Carlos with the Nerd Today podcast, coming at you again. How's everyone doing today? I hope this video finds you well. I'm actually recording it on the eve of the 2020 Game Awards. Shout out to Jeff Keighley for hosting and running one of my favorite events of the year. It's like, I think I might say it's above E3, especially this year. But it's just one of my favorite things. It's a good way to end the year. Where, especially after this year, how crazy it's been. Sorry for the random pregnant pause. But yeah, it's been a crazy year, and to have some kind of sense of normalcy while having the Game Awards is pretty enticing and pretty awesome. So I'm very excited to see tomorrow. Again, this is recording on the 9th. I will be posting it on the 10th, pending on editing and uploading on my computer. But yeah. So, I'm really excited. I hope you guys are too. I hope Next Gen is treating you guys well. If you've been privileged enough to get a Next Gen console, shout out to you. That's awesome. Walmart, I'm not a fan of anymore. I can only get kicked in the teeth so many times before I'm done. And I'm kind of done. If this was for me, I'd be done. It's not for me. It's for somebody else who wants to get one for their son. I'm making my mission to at least get a confirmation code before Christmas, so at least the kid has a piece of paper saying, hey, it's on its way. You'll get it soon. Let's see. Let's hope. Walmart's not fun. And PS Direct is a little better. At least they have a CAPTCHA. But they've been getting sold out before I even get anywhere near the line. Actually, I got through once. And it was sold out, so literally as I got pushed through. So, let's see. But everyone else enjoying their new consoles, shout out to you. Glad you are enjoying it. As I started at the top of the show, we're going to talk about Game Awards. This whole episode is going to be predictions, who I think will win, who I'm assuming is going to win. My picks for winners because of the limited games I played. I'll have disclosures for them. We're not going to go through all the awards because I'm not good with esports stuff. And, things like that. I didn't play, unfortunately, too many games. I'm more dabbling in my backlog. Actually, you know what? I'm going to link my GG account. You should check that out. It's an awesome app. You can get on iOS and Android. There's a free tier that's really popular, really populated with a lot of cool social media stuff. If you want to keep track of games you played, beaten, completed 100%, you can write little reviews. And then there's a paid version that will actually unlock way more stuff. It's really cool. You can interact with a one-person team that created the GG app. Straight up, you can hit them up on Twitter. They'll answer questions. That person is awesome. I think it's a dude. Don't want to assume anything, but I believe it's a dude. That dude's awesome. Super nice, super friendly. Wants to just get people out there and just talk about games more. So I'll link my account on the bottom. Send me a friend request on there. That's awesome. You can see where I'm at game-wise, how I'm stacking up. I think I've completed 9 games this year. A lot of them are backlog, so we'll see. I will date myself. Currently, I'm playing Kingdom Hearts 3. I am trying to get all the Mickey hidden emblems on the worlds I previously completed, but my next world I'm supposed to do is Monstropolis. I'll be doing Monsters Inc. soon. That's besides the point. We're 5 minutes of video, 4 minutes, because I started a minute. It doesn't matter. So we're going to talk about Game of the Year predictions. I just want to get out of the way. I'm not obviously a game journalist. I'm a games enthusiast, as a lot of us on YouTube are. And podcast service. Check out the podcast. If you're watching a video, please like and subscribe the audio version. If you're listening on audio, please like and subscribe the video version. Get those views up, man. Get those up, especially with my unboxing videos for other people's consoles. So let's kick it off, man. Let's go right into it. Let's not even talk about too many things. Maybe I'll do at the end some speculation on some announcements and things like that. So, or unless if there's something that would bake in here. We're going to start with the big kahuna right here. The big kahuna. Don't know why I went with that one. That was the reference I went. So I'm gonna be looking on my screen. I have it right here. I had notes, and then my notes got lost, and whatever. I have the Game Awards website here, so I'll be voting live actually, while videoing. Don't know what the hand motion was. All right, so we got Game of the Year. Again, this is recognizing. I think it's important as well to issue the caveats that are listed under the categories, like the description of the categories. I think that does factor into at least my voting process and a lot of people's voting process. If you like listen to Kind of Funny, if you check out IGN, things like that, there is a voting board as well. So I think that all factors in. So this Game of the Year, recognizing a game that delivers the absolute best experience across all creative and technical fields. I want to, in my heart of hearts, vote for Final Fantasy VII Remake because holy shit. I don't normally curse on these, so I am sorry for anyone who got offended, but holy shit, that ending and where we left the series, no spoilers, that's crazy. That's awesome. If you are a fan of my channel and want to hit me up on DM about these, hit me up at nerd_a_day on Twitter, Instagram as well if you want. We'll talk about spoilers in there, but man, that's crazy. I mean, where we're leaving off and just listening to the spoiler cast, Kind of Funny, where they talked about 7 Remake. Golly, man. I mean, just hearing Imran like kind of describe why it's called what it's called, just I'm not even gonna go into it. That game's awesome. But we're looking at the nominees, right? I'll go through them real quick. We got Doom Eternal, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Ghost of Tsushima, Hades, Animal Crossing New Horizon, and The Last of Us Part 2. Not gonna lie, it's gonna be Last of Us Part 2. That game made me feel things. I cried in the very beginning, I cried in the middle, I was scared, I was worried, people died that I loved, people survived, maybe they shouldn't have, people became monsters, literally and figuratively, in this game. And I never thought in the beginning of the game when I had a friend, shout out Tom Neville, hit me up when he saw I was playing it. I was tweeting about it, I was talking about it on Facebook. Saying, hey man, where you're at. He was like, what's the last thing that happened? Because he knew he was ahead of me. So he was like, where are you at? And I mentioned where I was at. He's like, cool, so I'll talk to up to that point. What are your thoughts on this one character? We can straight up name it. It's been months and we're going to have to say her name anyway. What's your thoughts on Abby? I never thought at the portion I was in the game I would be speaking of Abby, and I mentioned this in my review of Last of Us Part 2. I never thought I would be speaking of Abby in the beginning, like, I hate her, she's the worst. I can't wait till Ellie kills her. And by the end of the game, Abby is by far, to me, the greatest, possibly the greatest Naughty Dog character ever created by that studio. Abby is amazing. And her transformation and what happens to her in that game is mind-blowingly awesome, and how it's done, how it's created, like just everything about it is a masterpiece. So, on the merits of Abby's story alone, Last of Us Part 2 is Game of the Year for me. Not to mention that technically is one of the most sound video games I've ever played. Visually, it's one of the most beautiful games I've ever played. And just all across. Emotionally funny. Like, there was funny points. Everything. Just was amazing. So, kudos to Neil Druckmann. Kudos to you on as well, sir, on your promotion, and everyone else at Naughty Dog who got promotions. And kudos to The Last of Us 2. To me, you are Game of the Year, and I'm going to predict that you're going to win as well. Best Game Direction. Awarded for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design. A lot of the same people we've seen already. So Final Fantasy VII, Ghost of Tsushima, or Tsushima? Tsushima. I'll say Tsushima. If I'm wrong, I'm very sorry. Hades, Half-Life Alyx, and The Last of Us Part 2. This one, I feel like Last of Us is going to win. I'm personally voting for Final Fantasy VII Remake because Tamura just like went from a trailer where, you know, we see the 7 Remake trailer, we get confirmation this game is happening, and then video game outlets like Famitsu and like IGNs and stuff are hitting up tomorrow and be like, so you're directing? Like, Square Enix said you're directing. He's like, that's news to me. Which was scary, right? That was the first like chip. And seeing stuff that's happening with Final Fantasy 13 versus that got morphed into Final Fantasy 15, and then how that played out, and new endings that you could deep dive. I think there's a YouTube page called The Night Prince. I watched like pretty much I think all his videos on Final Fantasy 15. Ending explains the DLC stuff that was supposed to happen that turned into a book now, true endings, and it just seems like he's so angry. And Imran has this very great line, and it's, you know, again, I don't want to spoil that game because I think that's special. He goes and he says, you could tell he's angry because of the villains, or like the battle mechanics, like everything that happens in 7 Remake is someone yelling at basically old people and fighting fate. That in itself right there is a spoiler. That's all I'm going to say. But yeah, that's pretty much what we got here. I'm going to go for that. Because that direction right there is saying something. This is best narrative. Moving on. Best narrative for outstanding storytelling, narrative development in a game. We have 13 Sentinels, Aegis Rim. I don't know what that is. Final Fantasy VII Remake. Ghost of Tsushima. Hades. Last of Us Part 2. Gonna go with Last of Us Part 2. And I think that's going to win. I wouldn't be shocked if 7 Remake or Hades wins, because Hades is like an indie darling. Everyone's like loving it. Especially now that it's early access. So I'm going to go with Last of Us Part 2, because Neil Druckmann and Haley Gross killed it. Again, I never thought I would feel things the way I felt in that game. That was crazy. Best art direction for outstanding creative and or technical achievement, artistic design, and animation. There's a lot of categories. I mean, there's again 7 Remake, Ghost of Tsushima, Hades, Ori and the Will of the Wisps right here, and The Last of Us Part 2. I think this is where you can see Ori and the Will of the Wisp, pardon me, win, but I'm gonna go give it to Hades. I have not put any time in that game. I've seen trailers. I remember early access trailers when it debuted at the Game Awards. It was available at early access at that time in the Epic Game Store. And I just Supergiant games in general are just beautiful. Everyone's raving about Hades, so I honestly feel it's going to win. I think it kind of should win, just looking at how beautiful it is. If there was a runner-up for me, I would actually personally say Ghost of Tsushima. I have not put any time in that game as well, but just seeing photo mode and how their like Destiny like raid mode works, it seems pretty cool. Best score music for outstanding music inclusive of score, original song, and or licensed soundtrack. We have Doom Eternal, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Hades, Ori and the Will of the Wisp, and Last of Us Part 2. I'm gonna give it to Doom Eternal. Mick Gordon's awesome. There was some weird controversies, obviously, with Doom Eternal's release with Mick Gordon, and it seems like it kind of phoned in some stuff. I still really enjoyed it, not as much as the 2016 Doom, but I thought Eternal was pretty good. If anything, I would give it maybe the Final Fantasy VII Remake. Just kind of recomposed music from that iconic game was beautiful. Best audio design. Here we go. Recognize the best in in-game audio and sound design. Again, we have Doom Eternal, Half-Life Alyx, Ghost of Tsushima, Resident Evil 3, and The Last of Us Part 2. And this is where my inexperience of this year with current games is going to show. And I'm sure a lot of comments will be like, you didn't play enough games, or, you didn't do enough, so you shouldn't have an opinion. And here's like a seizure video. Oh, I'm sorry. That's all the a-holes online saying, Game Informer's writer seizure video. That's where she had a PSA about, she had a seizure while playing Cyberpunk. Because people on the internet are terrible. That allude aside, anyway, that aside, I'm gonna go with Doom Eternal. A lot of the crunchiness of that game, I guess the crunchiness is best of that. I wouldn't be surprised though if Half-Life Alyx or Resident Evil 3 win. Horror games, not that Half-Life Alyx is a horror game, but I guess the VR experience with that, I'm sure is so immersive. I've listened to Daniel Dwyer and Greg Miller talk about in their review. It's so immersive, that game, that I would not be shocked if if that would win. But I also wouldn't be surprised if Resident Evil 3 wins. I've just played and beat Resident Evil 2 Remake, and I thought the audio design was great in that, and having, Nemesis just under stars. That's crazy. This is my favorite category I'm most excited for is Best Performance. We have awarded to an individual for voiceover acting, motion, and or performance capture. We have Ashley Johnson as Ellie, Laura Bailey as Abby, Daisuke Tsuji, pardon me if I messed that up, as Jin Sakai in Ghost of Tsushima, Logan Cunningham as Hades, and Najee Jeter as Miles Morales. This is, for me, boils down to Laura Bailey, Ashley Johnson. And again, everything I said at the top of the video, everything I said in my Last of Us Part 2 review, it's Laura Bailey. That's not against anything against Ashley Johnson. Her performance as Ellie is absolutely amazing, and seeing someone just have like kind of hope and then break down, and all the layers that we see with Ellie this time around, and understanding her story and her wants and needs and struggles and everything. It's beautiful, but Abby is a tour de force. It may be Laura Bailey's best performance in anything. Not to discredit any of her work before, or during this time, but Abby is so crazy layered. Like, it's like a blooming onion of a character. And Laura's physical transformation to play motion capture as Abby was crazy, and then to actually hear the pain in her voice and the hope, and you start rooting for Abby. You start rooting for Abby straight up. And I didn't think that was. I think if it wasn't Laura Bailey playing Abby, I don't know. I'm sure another actor could have done a really good job, but Laura Bailey is Abby, and Abby is Laura Bailey. Is what it comes down to. So it's gonna be Laura Bailey for me, straight up. Also, she should have won last year for Kate Diaz in Gears. Gears doesn't get enough love. She's awesome as Gears. Games for Impact, thought-provoking game with pro social meaning messages. We have If Found, Kentucky Route Zero TV edition, Spiritfarer, Tell Me Why, and Through the Darkest Times. Unfortunately, I don't know too many of these games other than Tell Me Why, because it's a Don't Nod game. And it's about it seems I have a lot of friends who are trans, and unlike J.K. Rowling, I actually care about them, and all people. As I mentioned before, J.K. Rowling can go off to a little island, live out her days in silence. That would be the best for the world. I think so. We have the baby you created in Harry Potter. Thank you. Goodbye. But my personal feelings on J.K. Rowling's side, I think I've heard a lot of people speak of Tell Me Why, and how it gets a lot of it had a consultant that was trans and all this stuff, and I think it speaks to a portion of the population that doesn't get recognized and stuff like that. Don't Nod is pretty good usually about showing that stuff, and it seems like not the hearsay, I don't know, it sounds like there's a rumor about something, but all the talks about Tell Me Why seem to be focusing on the positivity of the storytelling there. I mean, obviously the game's not, I don't believe, finished, so there could be some stereotype thing that happens in the game that is upsetting, but I didn't play any of these games, so I can't vote here. I'm assuming Tell Me Why. I'm gonna click Tell Me Why, because I like Don't Nod, but I'm gonna assume it's gonna be Tell Me Why. Here we go. We got best ongoing. Awarded to a game with outstanding development, ongoing content that evolves for player experience over time. We have Apex Legends, Destiny 2, Call of Duty Warzone, Fortnite, and No Man's Sky. It's Fortnite. Just what we're at chapter 2. That whole event was crazy. The recent Nexus War on I think it's like season 2, right, of chapter 2. It was like Nexus War actually tied into Marvel Comics canon. Having that seems crazy. Now we're having some kind of multiversal, event that is having hunters across the multiverse. As now there's voice acting as Troy Baker as like Jonesy. I don't play the game, so I'm sorry. I do follow a lot of it in media because it's a media juggernaut and it cannot be denied. But now we have Kratos in Fortnite, and we have Din Djarin and Grogu in Fortnite. I'm not going to use their slave names. Mendo. Sorry. But we have Din Djarin and Grogu, and we have, Kratos, and there's rumors that tomorrow we'll see Master Chief. If that's the case, dude, that's crazy. That's insane. And this might be like, they're teasing something huge, and I wouldn't be shocked if this is going to be my one prediction. I think this is when it happens. Best ongoing. Fortnite's going to win. I don't think it's skewed in any way. Like, I don't think it's like it's an inside job. No, I think it legitimately won, and if anything, I think it's just leaps and bounds the winner here. Apex, I would assume, would be second place if that was my case. Just hearing people play, and people still love that game. But Fortnite wins. We'll get some, everything's digital because everyone's not, in a studio, or, no one's in the auditorium clapping, cheering, all that stuff. But I think it still would have happened anyway. Some get hype moment from my KF friends out there. Lights cut out, some BS. We hear Master Chief, we hear Cortana or something, you know what I mean? We hear that. And who knows? People are saying this might be like a Super Smash Brothers of, everything else. So, just with shooting instead of punching. And they're still punching. But yeah, I think that's where we get, the big announcement for either the end of Chapter 3, what's going on now, if it is Chapter 3. I'm sorry, I really don't follow the chapters and where we're at. I just know the big storylines. Like, we had Nexus War, we haven't listened bounty hunter thing. I think this is where we get big story, big win, all that stuff. Moving forward, we have best indie, outstanding creative technical achievement of a game made outside of a traditional publishing system. We have Carry On, Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout, Hades, Spelunky 2, Spiritfarer. It's Hades. It's Hades or Fall Guys. I think Hades is going to just grab as so many other awards that, Last of Us doesn't win. This seems to be the game of the year, honestly. And if it doesn't win this for whatever reason, it's going to be Fall Guys. Just because of the everyone talking about it. Best mobile game. Best game for playable on a mobile device. We have Among Us, Call of Duty Mobile, Genshin Impact, Legends of Runeterra, and Pokemon Cafe Mix. It's Among Us. Again, that game came out 2 years ago, and it's got so much attention, and it has AOC playing it, and for Americans, it's a senator from New York. Ileana Martin, another senator from New York. Oh, no, not New York, but she's a senator. Anyway. People talking about it. I have family members playing it like crazy. I'd be shocked if anything else wins. If anything, I would probably see Genshin Impact, because other than being kind of a Zelda clone, it's pretty good. I actually put some time into it. Maybe 2 hours. Not that much time. So we're going to go with Best Community Support here. Recognizing game for outstanding community support, transparency, responsiveness, inclusive, social media, all that stuff. Apex, Destiny, Fall Guys, and Fortnite, No Man's Sky, Valorant. It's Fall Guys. They've been giving people kind of what they want. It's been really fun. Best VR, AR. I'm just going to kind of go through a lot of these because 25 minutes. No, sorry. For best game experience playable in virtual augmented reality, we have Dreams, Half-Life Alyx, Marvel's Iron Man VR, Star Wars Squadron, and The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners. It's Half-Life Alyx. Half-Life is back, and it's VR, and apparently it's the greatest VR game ever made. Now everyone talks about it. Innovation in accessibility, recognizing software and/or hardware that's pushing the medium forward by adding features, technology, and content to help games be played and enjoyed in an even wider audience. Definitely going to tell you right now, next year, Cyberpunk's not going to be on that list. Not after last week. And wow, yeah. I'm just going to straight not after last week. So we have Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Grounded, Hyperroot, Last of Us Part 2, Watch Dogs Legion. I'm going to go with Last of Us Part 2. That was crazy, man. That was insane seeing like how much accessibility was in that game. Just to every so much minute detail. That was amazing. They really try to get everybody to play that game if they could. And that is amazing. That's what gaming should be. Especially with that story. That story is insane. Best action. For the best game in the action genre, focused primarily on combat, we have Doom Eternal, Hades, Half-Life Alyx, Nioh 2, and Streets of Rage 4. This is Hades. Straight up. Everyone's talking about it. Best combat. Moving on, best action adventure. Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Ghost of Tsushima, Marvel Spider-Man, Miles Morales, Ori and the Will of the Wisp, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, Last of Us Part 2. Here's the issue. Because Star Wars, I think, got pushed back, or it happened to be like a week before, no one got a review copy in time last year for Game Awards 2019. So that is the issue why Star Wars is on here. And it should be on here. It should be on something, because that game is amazing. But when you stack it next to The Last of Us Part 2, Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales, and Ghost of Tsushima, it looks less. I love Jedi Fallen Order. I think it's amazing, but it to me, I think this is where Ghost wins it. I think they won the fan vote, but I also think this is where they're going to win this one too. I think if not, Ghost is going to be Miles for that one. Moving on, best role-playing game. For best game design with rich player character customization and progression, including a massively multiplayer experience, we have Final Fantasy VII Remake, Genshin Impact, Persona 5 Royal, Wasteland 3, and Yakuza Like a Dragon. Oh, that's funny. That's on there because now it's an RPG. Yeah, kind of makes sense. That's crazy. It's honestly a race between Final Fantasy VII Remake and Persona 5 Royal. I'm gonna go with Final Fantasy VII Remake, and I think that's the one that's gonna win. I wouldn't be shocked if Royal wins. I don't think that's a bad thing, but I think 7 Remake's the winner in my view. IMO. Again, for what that does and how that changes stuff. That's crazy, man. My story with 7 again Remake is I went from not understanding why they're breaking up the game multiple parts and complaining that you're charging me $60 for this, to beating the game and being like, oh, I get it now. I'm sorry. So we got best fighting. We have, head-to-head combat. Kind of get the idea. We have right here Grand Blue Fantasy Versus, which looks pretty cool. That's from Arc System Works. Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate, Street Fighter V Champion Edition, One Punch Man, A Hero Nobody Knows, and Under Night In Birth EXE Late Control R? Okay, I don't even know what that game is. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be honest with you on that one. It's Mortal Kombat. It's Mortal Kombat. It's Mortal Kombat for me because I'm a hardcore Mortal Kombat fan. I'll have to go, you know what? Before Mortal Kombat, the motion picture, the new one, the reboot comes out, I'm going to do a deep dive on my history with Mortal Kombat because it's a special series in my heart. And, I mean, I definitely play that way younger than I should. We got Best Family Game. We got Animal Crossing, New Horizon, Crash Bandicoot 4. Don't want to call it what my niece calls it. It's a really wrong name for that, but it's pretty funny. Fall Guys Ultimate, Knockout, Minecraft Dungeon, Paper Mario, the Origami King. Sorry, I forgot what the title was that for. And Mario Kart Live Home Circuit. I'm going to go. This is where Animal Crossing wins, I think. If not, Fall Guys. Best Sim Strategy. Honestly, don't play any of those. Kind of going for Gears. I'm going to vote for Gears. I like Gears. Gears is awesome. Play Gears. Play Gears Tactical if you like that. That's awesome. Best Sports Racing Game. I always thought these were weird because he's doing two things at once. There's Dirt 5, F1 2020, FIFA 2021, NBA 2K21, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2. It's Tony Hawk for me. Come on. That's awesome. The game's awesome. Best multiplayer, Animal Crossing, Among Us, Call of Duty Warzone, Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout, Valorant. I'm going to vote Fall Guys. I wouldn't be surprised if Among Us wins on that one. That'd be crazy. Content Creator of the Year, Tim the Tap Man, Nick Merckx, Jay Ann Lopez, Valkyrie, and Alana Pierce. I'm gonna go with Alana Pierce. I want to call her. I don't want to say a stain because I'm sure she has a lot of weird, creepy fans, and that's not right. She's a person, just straight as a person. But honestly, she's been killing it for so long, man. She's killed it at IGN. I loved her content there. Seeing her move over to Rooster Teeth and do some stuff with them, that was like sad because I liked her on IGN. I thought she fit really well, but it was cool to see her doing stuff there. And I caught some of her stuff there. She's awesome. And then her own stuff, her own YouTube channel's amazing. Shout out, she just got hired by Sony Santa Monica for like a dream job that she's always wanted. That's awesome. Can't wait to see what she does in the future. I know she's going to do some podcasts here and there. She unfortunately had to drop out of the Kind of Funny Xcast. I thought she was a great addition there. She's just amazing altogether, man. I think she should win. She's awesome. She's super positive. She's cool, man. She's cool. She's cool as shit. My second curse word. Third? Same word, but used multiple times. Best debut game from a created independent story. Sorry, it's late. I'm tired. We have Carrion, Mortal Shell, Raiji, Roki, and Phasmophobia. I think it's gonna be Carrion. Honestly, I don't know too much about the game, but Carrion seems like the one. Esports athlete, gonna skip that. Don't know anything about that. Esports coach, gonna skip that. Don't know anything about that. Best esport event. I would say Eagles going to be on here, right? It's not. After what happened. So I'm going to skip that. Best esports game. There's a bunch. There's Valorant, League of Legends, Fortnite. I'm going to go with Call of Duty. As always. Best esports host. Now, this is where it becomes fun because it should be Golden Boy. Golden Boy should win every year. That's my dude. Hey, man, I know you didn't listen to the wrestling podcast, but you want to listen to this one? It sounds desperate. But Alex, if you want to listen to this one, man, just let me know, man. Tell me how I'm doing. Like, what can I improve? What I can, like, get away with? Yeah, like, what can I do better? What can I do better? You're the dude, though, man. I wish you'd do more AEW stuff. I think you're awesome. Team. I don't know. I don't see Philly, so I don't care. And that's it. That's the Game Awards, man. That's what we're going with, and I guess I gotta vote, right? Shock, I guess. I don't know, man. Overwatch, because that was in Philly. We're supposed to be, I think. Yeah, I'll do Overwatch 2 with that. And, let's see this. Alright. I think, cool. Yeah, I voted all categories now. Whatever. But yeah, man. So that's the nominees. That's my predictions. That's who I think is going to win. This is a little longer than I wanted to. And, I hope this video finds you well. If you kind of disagree, if you have any disagreements, post them down under the, the YouTube video. If you want to hit me up on Twitter, tell me I'm wrong, hit me up right there. Keep everything civil. You're probably right. I'm probably wrong. Who knows? I didn't play too many games. Just, like what you like. Don't be a D-bag about it. I stole that from Brian Zane, who's awesome. If you love wrestling, watch him. Before we end the video, though, I think we're going to see some crazy announcements. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we see, a little more footage of Gotham Knights. That's coming up. I wouldn't be shocked if we see some Fortnite stuff, as I mentioned, during that Fortnite seminar. They teased it, but still. We have some Xbox news. Aaron Greenberg tweeted out earlier today that let's temper expectations. I don't think it's going to be as crazy as we think it will be. But it'd be cool to see, like, the initiative's new game. They've been working on a game for a long time. It'd be cool to see what it is. And, I don't know. Honestly, I can't think of what, like, big surprises there would be. Maybe announcement dates for God of War or Horizon. That'd be cool from the Sony side. maybe the tease of the next character for Smash, like when we got Joker. I believe that was last year. I believe that was last year. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, man. Let me know. Let me know what you think. Check out my other videos. Again, I did an unboxing of the PlayStation 5 and an unboxing of the Xbox Series X. Thank you to my family members who let me do that with their consoles that they were fortunate enough to get. If you weren't fortunate enough to get, check out Wario64 at Twitter. It's at Wario64. I think it's all one word. You guys also will have deals and stuff and all that stuff, and that's why I've been using the track for one of my coworkers, so they can get PS5. But that's it for today. 36 minutes, 35, whatever time difference. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.